Good morning, guys. Welcome to today. Before I start, I want to tell you guys I dyed my hair. It's not this red, I don't think. I'm using a different dye brand because the other stuff makes me feel sick. It makes me feel dizzy. Like I can feel the toxins. I can feel the toxins in it. But anyways, it's crunchy and cold out here. Sam's on his way. Well, I have to tell you guys the dream that I had last night. It was like therapy. It was therapy, and I feel like you guys should hear it because it could help somebody trying to find a husband. Alright, so here's the dream. I'm sorry if you guys can hear me crunching. So I was dreaming. It was just before I woke up, but I was in a deep sleep. It wasn't like a dream that I normally have that comes true. This was just a dream. Sometimes I dream things that would make such a good movie. So I dreamed that I was younger and I was dating this guy for 5 years. Oh, everybody thought that he was going to propose, and I've been waiting for him to propose because it's been 5 years. So we go out to dinner and he pulls out this ring, and I'm so excited. I think he's going to propose to me. And on the ring, he gives me the ring, and on the ring it says, "I want to propose to you one day." So it was kind of like a promise ring, and he was 5 years. That's the ring he gives me when I was thinking he was going to propose to me. This ring that's like, I want to propose to you, I just can't right now, so just wait for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I learned my lesson. So learn your lesson, you guys. If somebody can't commit to you, then he's not your guy. Like, that's his problem. And if he has a problem committing, that problem committing is gonna show up in a lot of different areas of your life. You're not gonna suddenly convince him to marry you and then that goes away. So then I decided to go on this dating show, and it was held in an apartment building, similar to what you see online right now. But it wasn't like, you could see each other. So you go into a room and then you would talk to each other and you would decide if you wanted to have a second date. So I went into the room and I talked to this man. He was lovely and I had a really good time, and then I left. Because you only had so long to determine if you like the guy. So I left the apartment and I went out into the hallway. So I go into the hallway and there's this young, tiny, little, dark-haired woman standing there waiting to go into her apartment to see her date. And she's like just standing there stuck, and she points in the corner. And I look in the corner and there's a man standing there, and he's got one of those hoodies on that zips up all the way past his face, and it's all the way zipped up. And he's got something in front of him on the ground, like flowers or something. And he's got this little dog beside him. And she looks at me, and it's like dark, like so dark. And she looks at me and she's like afraid. And I looked at her and I looked at the guy, and she had like tried to engage the guy, but he didn't say anything. So I motioned to her. I'm like, come on, let's go. So we slowly back away, and then we run down the stairs and we push open the door and run outside the door. And doesn't the little dog follow us? And he's got his face done up, so he doesn't even know what's going on. And we ran, the whole apartment was fenced in completely. The only way to go out was to go to the left and then go through a gate. So we went to the right, not knowing. This dog is chasing us, and we're scared. We don't know, like, if this was supposed to be her date, if somebody, like, got into the apartment building and was like, we didn't know. Like, it was scary. This man with his face zipped up in a dark hoodie. So we run, so we start running to the right, and we realize we can't get out. So we turn and we go to the left, and the dog is chasing her, and she's terrified, and he's about to attack her, or she's about to attack her. And I tell the lady, like, I push her, I say, go, go, go. And I stayed back because I thought I could handle this little dog. And the dog is chasing me. It bites me on the back of my leg, jumps up, bites my face. And the man comes out, and he's got his hood down, and he's like, what are you doing? Why did you run? And I'm like, what do you mean, why did we run? And he said it was a game. Like, I wanted her to play this game. And I said, well, nobody told us that it was going to be a game. It was scary for us. And I said, your dog attacked me. And he said, she wouldn't have attacked you if you hadn't ran. And that was the end of our date. It was awful. It was scary. Imagine meeting up with a man. It doesn't matter if you were expecting to meet with a man. Like, imagine meeting up with a man hidden in the deep dark of a corner of an apartment building with his hood, his face completely covered. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm old-fashioned. That's scary for a woman. I feel like as women, we always have to have our guard up. Like, you don't go into dark places. But anyways, so then the show went on, and I went into my next apartment and for my next date, and it was that guy. And he was there, and he said, you know, I wanted to apologize. I didn't realize like you would be afraid. It was supposed to be like a fun game. And I said, well, thank you so much for apologizing. I appreciate that. But I'm not going to stay and continue this date because I would never ever want to date someone or marry someone who doesn't think about things from my perspective. And I would never ever want to date someone who immediately goes to, it's your fault. It's your fault. Everything that happens is your fault. Like, I feel like that happens so much in society, at least in my generation. But it's so important to always think about things from everybody's perspective, not just if you're a man or a woman, but like if you have children, thinking about things from their perspective, like strangers you meet on the street, you have to think about things from their perspective. Like, anyways, I woke up because Sam's alarm went off and I was like, oh, why is it going off? I want to finish this dream. It was such a good dream. I'm glad to have Sam, and I'm glad that I'm not dating. But it was such a good dream. Not lots of times, about once a year, I'll have, maybe twice a year, I'll have like a dream that could be a movie or I could write into a book. I should write them all down. But anyway, I wanted to tell you guys that dream today because I wanted you guys to know, anybody who's younger watching this video, if there's a man who can't commit to you, then he's not your man. If there's a man who blames you anytime something goes wrong, he's not your man. There's somebody out there for you, somebody out there that loves you and is kind and considerate and thinks about things from your perspective and would never dress up and cover his face and hide in a corner without thinking that that might be scary to a woman. Anyway, welcome to today. Oh! What a dramatic end to our video! Look at this. So you guys know we've reduced the goat's grain. Filled this thing up totally last night. Filled it completely up. They're not gonna get any thinner because they're just gonna keep eating the grain. But look at her. She is so big. She's like, look at who? Remember I told you this girl hardly eats hay at night? Well, she ate that whole middle section right there. A ton of hay. These babies also ate a ton of their hay. Like, they ate a ton. These babies ate a ton of hay too. But I wanted to point out that every single morning when I come down, these guys have cleared their hay. They eat it all night. That's all they do is eat. And that's why this is the chubby pen. She is mean girl number one, and she's gotten meaner recently. And she typically stands over here and eats at this big, huge feeder, and she doesn't let anybody else eat. If she's eating, nobody else is allowed to eat there. See, just like that. Everybody has to go. So then mean girl number two goes over there, and then nobody else is allowed to eat over there. So I threw a little bit of hay there, threw a little bit of hay over there, so that everybody can go and eat. Everyone except for Cricket, who's our most scared goat. She is the least confrontational goat that we've ever had. She hasn't even been eating grain for so long because she won't fight for grain. Yes, Tilly, we're not having a smorgasbord of grain anymore. Go eat your hay. She's mad. Anyways, I dream like insane dreams so often. Last year I dreamed this dream. I'm just going to tell you because it was such a good dream. I always thought I would write this, and I should write it. I feel like God's giving me these stories to write, but I'm too lazy. I'm too busy. I don't know. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but I plan to write a story. So this dream that I had was about how it was at Christmas time and heaven was having a big influx of people like it often does. Didn't you guys notice? Have you guys ever noticed that a lot of people pass away and animals at Easter and at Christmas, at holidays? I don't know why, but it happens a lot. So it was Christmas time and this lady was just giving birth, and something happened during the birth and she died. She had a little baby boy and she loved her husband so much. And what happened in my dream when you die is that there's this instant connection between heaven and earth. So there's like a moonbeam kind of thing, and it went from heaven down to earth, and then her spirit would climbed up this thing up to heaven, and she didn't want to go. She didn't want to leave her baby and her husband. She had everything to live for, and she didn't want to leave them. Somebody from heaven had to come and like drag her up the thing because it was her time to go. And she was up in heaven and she was like hadn't acclimatized yet. She was still so upset, freaking out, like wanting to get back to her baby so badly. Just seconds after she got to heaven, there was a car crash, and another girl, like another woman the same age as her, died in this car crash. And that beam came down into the car for her spirit to climb up. And the girl that was already in heaven, that lost her baby and her husband, she saw that beam, and everybody was working on trying to get this other girl up that beam, and she just made a run for it, and she ran down that beam, and she jumped into that other girl's body. And it happened simultaneously at the exact moment that the girl from the car crash stepped across the beam into heaven. That girl stepped across the beam on the other side and went into the girl in the car crash, into her body, and then the beam was gone, and there was no way to get it back. Like the beam only came when somebody died. So in the car crash, all these paramedics were like around the car. It was dark, and they were trying to resuscitate her, and then all of a sudden she just takes this deep breath, and the people in the car don't realize that it's this other spirit, this other lady who lost her baby and who died giving birth. And so they don't even realize any of that. So anyways, they resuscitate her, they rush her to the hospital, and then she wakes up in another body, and she's the only one that knows it. Nobody else knows. They think she has amnesia. She keeps on saying, I'm not so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, I'm this other girl, and I have a baby, and I need to get back. And they all think that she has like mental problems from a head injury, and the whole dream was about how she lives in this body, and she tries so hard to find her husband and to get back to the baby that she lost. But anyway, isn't that such a good dream? Like, if that was a book, I would read that book. Would you read that book? Happy December 1st, you guys. Happy December 1st. It's exciting. I have been taking advantage of all the sales, all the Black Friday sales and all the Cyber Monday sales. I'll show you one thing that we got. You guys know that we're anticipating having some baby goats, and they at our pet store, they had all these sweaters on sale for $5 each. $5, so we got 4 of them. Sophie and Sam went yesterday to get 4 of them. And then I started crocheting this pattern. I don't think I did it right. I don't like crocheting in the round. Anytime I have to crochet around, even with stitch markers, I always get screwed up. But I don't think it's completely lost. I'm going to try and finish it. I think it'll only be like another 5 minutes before I finish it. Like, I'm almost done. So I'm going to try and finish that, and as long as it goes on their body, I don't care how it looks. But the thing is that these things are so thin. So thin. Like, even these ones, this is all it looks like on the inside. Just one layer. Like, they're very, very thin. They're not warm. But this, on the other hand, is so thick and so soft. I do think that hay is more likely to get stuck to this, though. But anyway, I'm going to try and finish that. And if I don't like it, I'm going to maybe go to another pattern. But I want to make them some really nice warm sweaters for this year's kidding season. I also crocheted this little heart, which doesn't look exactly perfect, but it's the first one that I've ever made. And I'm going to sew this down and make it into a little tree ornament. I might spray it with starch. But yeah, it's super cute. It is cold and icy and crunchy out here. Okay, so you guys know that this was our chicken coop last year. We sold our chickens this year, and I keep thinking about it, and I don't think I'm gonna do chickens next year. So I was telling my daughter-in-law, like, we're definitely not gonna do chickens next year. Sophie and I are done with chickens for now. So then she said, oh my gosh, you should do bunnies in there. And then I was like, oh my gosh, we should do bunnies in there. So here's the thing. Sam and his family, his parents, are Italian, and they eat bunny. Like, they do a lot of meat bunnies, or they like meat bunnies, and they're $30 a bunny to eat. And the mom cooks with them a lot, and she was complaining and saying, like, they're $30 just to get one. And Sam was saying, like, oh, I would love to do meat bunnies. And I was thinking, like, that would be good for him, like something that he could do. And I was thinking, like, I don't know if I could eat bunnies. I've never really eaten bunnies before. I think I have eaten them at Sam's family's house. I feel like maybe they tasted like pork. I can't remember. But we might do bunnies in that coop. But what made me so excited was, like, That is such a nice coop for bunnies because I could go in and revamp the whole thing. Once the spring comes, I'm gonna take out the roosting things, but we could make like it so fun for bunnies. There's actually ice today. Hi, baby. Hi. What's the matter? Are you frozen? It's actually quite nice out. And it's melting. Hi, Piggy. How did you get dirt on your little nose? You can tell it's cold when everybody's standing in the sun. Oh my gosh. What's wrong, babies? What's wrong? There's lots of hay. I'm gonna go spend some time with my Posh. Are you cold? Is everybody cold? Oh, babies. I'm obsessed with the look of my goats. Ow. Don't, ow. Posy. Posy likes to, ow, stop. Posy likes to, stop headbutting. Posy likes to, I'll show you. She'll do it. She likes to walk up to me and push her nose into me. Stop. Be nice. Stop. 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 I know. You want love too. I know you do. I sprayed that sulfur stuff on her. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about. She had a little tiny patch of mites. Completely gone now. But I had to spray her a second time. Oh my gosh. Stop being mean. I had to spray her a second time because of the eggs. You sprayed twice. Ow! Posy! See what she does? But it hurts because her nose is so forceful. She's like, pet me. That's all she wants. Yes. You're so cute. Yes. Hi, little baby. She still looks like a butterball turkey. Let's pet you. See if you're losing any weight. She's not losing any weight. I should go get you guys some fresh minerals. See, they only go over to eat the minerals when I'm here because I can protect them. Because normally, look at, aren't they beautiful? If I'm not here, then a goat might come along and basically they need me to watch their back. I'm gonna go get some fresh stuff. What is wrong with you? Anyway, it's cold, but it's sunny and they need to be outside, so they're just gonna have to suck it up. But I think they're just whining because they want food. I filled the boys' mineral tub up too. It's actually warmer outside today. Here, hold on, I'm gonna give you guys the bucket because the mean girls are gonna come along. Sometimes I just hold the bucket. Whoa, babies. For the little guys. I know, everybody wants some. Oh, gosh. Those two colors are cute together. Here, go ahead. Eat some from down there. I'll block Tilly so she can't get you. Go ahead, get some of that. Uh-oh. What's that little baby Cinderella at the bottom of this pile? I just want to make sure that that Lola and her baby get some. These are the underdogs. Go ahead, babies. I'll watch and make sure nobody hurts you. Oh, it is nice over here. This is why they stand against this. You know what, Sam? We need to build a stand here so that they can get up off the ground and stand here where the sun is. Posy's like, I need minerals. I'm hoping that it means that the majority of their weight gain is pregnancy related. Like, these guys are big. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you're worried about my red hair, because I was surprised when it turned red because it's supposed to just be brown. Don't be, ooh. It'll take one wash and then it'll be almost back to blonde. 2 washes and I'll be blonde again. That's how my hair, that's always what happens. Sam! I know what I'm going to do with the bunny hat, with the, shoot. I know what I'm gonna do with the chicken coop this spring. I'm gonna make it into a bunny house and then we're gonna grow meat rabbits.
Don't you know that you're beautiful?